You grew up in your father's country music bar.
Mm-hmm.
How did
not
that...
literally, but yeah.
That's it. That's where she lived, under the bar.
I was just like 9 and I was like, it's too loud. I'm going to dance class.
There are a lot of lyrics in your song, Do Right. The first one is, grew up on God and whiskey.
Well, I was raised Presbyterian and my dad was a pastor in the church. Actually, I was not allowed to go trick-or-treating or anything, and it was like, and then suddenly my dad did this turnaround and like bought a bar and was like, we're having fun now, kids, so we can drink beer.
Yeah. Okay, second one. That's what I get for drinking all that gasoline. What's the story behind
gasoline,
that?
I don't know if you've ever heard of the whiskey Rich and Rare. It's really bad. It's about $3 a gallon, and it's just terrible. And I refer to it as gasoline.
And that's also your album art for Indestructible Machine.
It's definitely ironic. A lot of people see that and think that I think I can drink gasoline and live. But, I mean, it's definitely not serious.
Indestructible Machine seems to be a step away from the country sound of The Only Man, your first release.
With the first album, it actually had producers and people trying to get a certain sound out of it. I was still playing like more rough rock and roll back then, but just the way it was recorded made it sound a little more polished. So when I did Indestructible Machine, it was just me making all the decisions, so it just kind of naturally came out probably more aggressive and a little bit different.
Yeah. Your vocals have been appropriately so compared to Loretta Lynn.
I mean, a lot of people just say the same things over and over about women, so in a way it's kind of like, do I really sound like Loretta Lynn, or are you just saying that because you can't think of anyone else? But I mean, it's definitely cool, and I mean, I think Loretta Lynn and I are similar in the sense that, like, you know, back in her day she was totally shocking, and, you know, she was a really strong woman who sang about stuff like birth control and stuff. So I'm sure that was shocking back then, and now if you sing about drinking as a woman, people are like,
Looking for so many ways to make perfectly good men cry. Is that a regular thing for you, making perfectly good men cry?
I do. I tend to make only nice people cry. You know, I kind of went from being the good, nice girl to like, why are you so crazy? And just being with this sort of tiresome guy for so long, I got sick of men's crap. So started just kind of trying to be the bad guy.
You list Hank Williams III as a musical influence of yours, and I believe Britney Spears is on that list as well.
So that was like a side of me, like kind of breaking away from my family's like rock and roll lifestyle and taste in music, and I was like, I'm gonna like Britney Spears, and then I took dance lessons so that I could be like a pop star one day. And then when I got older, I heard Hank III, and he really influenced me to play straight up, tell it like it is, sort of country music.
The way that you write your lyrics, you kind of write about these events in a way that people don't necessarily want to hear them, like just the brutal honesty, just the in-your-face that you were talking about.
I mean, I guess a lot of that has to do with just the way I was raised and the way I interact with my family. We don't really hold anything back, so that's kind of how it's been my whole life. My lyrics are largely based on my journal entries, which is why a lot of, you know, my boyfriends are like, I don't even want to hear that song. Like, actually yesterday I just wrote a pretty brutally mean song, so I think it's just the way I am, and I'm actually pretty not honest with people in my daily life, so the way I get around that is by writing really bad songs about them. So
good to know. There may be a song written about this after this. We don't know.